was no time when I thought, you two had been doing it for so long, I felt the safest I've ever felt in an improvisation.
It is gut-wrenching when you don't feel safe in an improv show. It's like, oh my God. Which I think is what, to some people, is the attraction.
Okay.
It's the same reason people go and watch diving competitions because somebody might hit their head.
Right, or race car. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, there might be a crash.
Right, but I don't, but you guys, so it was this long form thing, and the suggestion would come for a topic, and then there would be a beat where one or the other of you would take a moment, and I could see you thinking, and you're like, okay, and you would do a thing that I do in stand-up, which is I take things from my life, and then you created a scene from something in your life. At no time did I feel like you were going to be like exceptionally crass just for the shock jock value?
Right.
Or racist or horrible? And it was...
No, I keep my racism off stage.
Is that... Or you like to keep that off key? Mm-hmm. And well played. And it was just... Because sometimes in the class that I took, it was like early stand-up where people are just throwing things at the wall.
They're frantic.
They're frantic.
Yeah.
That frantic.
Because if I don't get the laugh now, I might never get a laugh. I might never get a laugh again, you know?
Right. And that feels like a learned skill to learn to slow down.
Well, here's another thing you just said, which I really think is interesting. So I did short form for years.
Okay.
Before I ever did long form. And just so people know what short form is,
Please.
Short form is what you would see on Whose Line Is It Anyway? Where throughout the show, you constantly take suggestions from the audience and you have to use those suggestions in
they stack?
your scene. No, in other words, we'll start a scene and I'll say, okay, I need a profession and I need a country of origin and I need a thing two people might argue about.
Right.
And then I do a scene where I am a French pilot arguing with someone about interest rates.
Right, okay.
You know, so I've gotten all three of those suggestions from the audience and I am trying to fulfill those suggestions.
Right.
And I did that for years. I did it with a group in New York. I traveled all over the country performing with them.
And is that so that was your entry level to improv?
That was how I started, yes.
Okay.
Then I heard about this group, the Upright Citizens Brigade. I went to see them do their sketch show. I went to see them do their skits.
Right.
And I liked it. It didn't blow my mind. I was like, oh, you know, they're funny. They're funny. Yeah. I've seen other funny things. This was also a funny thing. This is
another funny thing.
And then I went to see their improv show. And because I had been doing improv for 8 years up till that point, and I knew what improv was, or at least I thought I did, when I went to see Ass Cat, it was like, holy fucking shit. You can do that? That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I don't know what a good analogy is. I always like to use basketball analogies, but it's like, imagine if you were 7 feet tall and you played basketball your whole life and you never knew you could dunk.
Right.
And then you saw somebody do it and you're like, wait a second, you can do that?
Right.
And so what I loved about it, which is what you said, is that in long form, you take one suggestion and then that inspires everything to come from inside you. So you're not responding to external stimuli. You are bringing your own life experiences into the work you're doing on stage.
Okay.
And it just, to me, was a whole other level of interest and fun and enjoyment.